Could Jennifer Lopez be the next celebrity that is going to flee Hollywood? Well, if you just take what she is saying in this interview that we are going to be taking a look at here at face value, then yes, it could sound like that. But then when you start to dig a little bit deeper, you see that there are even bigger problems going on with what she is saying than her just trying to get out of the Hollywood game. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what she has to say here. And Jennifer Lopez opens up about why she was going to quit Hollywood. Now, a lot of us might be thinking, oh, did something bad happen to Jennifer Lopez? Did she see something that was terrible to happen? Well, it's a problem that's even worse than that, okay? So Jennifer Lopez opened up about why she has called the many times she thought she was going to quit Hollywood because she said she was believing everything she was hearing about herself in the media. During the 52-year-old actress's upcoming Netflix documentary Halftime, the singer talked about how in the early days she had to find out who she really was because she had really low self-esteem and believed what she was hearing in the media about herself, per an NBC News piece published Tuesday. So yes, what is happening here is you have Jennifer Lopez, who isn't actually going to be, quitting Hollywood because of actual bad things that are happening in that place, which I'm sure she is even aware of, but she is going to be quitting Hollywood, or at least she's talked about quitting Hollywood because she is deciding to play the victim suddenly. And some of the things that she says here is insane, okay? And I just had to laugh out loud when I first read it. I was like, what are you even talking about? Let's go ahead and get into that right now. No matter what I achieve, Lopez explained in the film, the media's appetite to cover my personal life overshadowed everything. I believed a lot of what they said, which is that I wasn't really good. Wasn't really good at what exactly, I don't know. But so here's part of a trailer for her film as well, but then we're gonna get into some of the comments of what she says, which is just like beyond insane.
This year I turn 50. So many important things have happened to me, and all of them have led me right here.
So yes, this is going to be a Jennifer Lopez-centric film, apparently. There were many times where I was like, I think I'm just going to quit, she added. I had to really figure out who I was and believe in that and not believe in anything else. And then what she says down here is crazy. I said to her once, doesn't this bother you? The actor shared. Ben Affleck asked her, and she said, I'm Latina. I expected this. You just don't expect it. You expect to be treated fairly. So apparently, because she is a Latina, she doesn't think that she was treated. She thinks that she was under a lot of scrutiny because she was Latina, which is just hilarious. And then she says this: when I started working, the beauty ideal was very thin. Okay, so let's see here. At one point, the documentary focused on how when the hustler star came on the scene, she wasn't the ideal look of beauty and shared clips of how people in the industry would mock her rear end. When I started working, the beauty ideal was very thin, blonde, tall, not a lot of curves, Lopez explained. It was hard when you think people think you're a joke, like you're a punchline, but I wound up affecting things in a way that I never intended to affect them. Okay, so this is just crazy that she's saying this because she's basically creating a victim narrative around herself. Because I can tell you one thing, okay, like 15 years ago, no one was having a problem with the way that Jennifer Lopez looked. At least the people that I was around. Nobody was complaining about her. Nobody was saying Jennifer Lopez she's just a joke. The way that she looks, she's just a joke. And that's just not at all what was going on. And the fact is that she continued to rise in popularity even, over a decade ago. So I don't know exactly what she's talking about here. She is a very popular woman. She has done very well for herself. But once again, just like all these different people do, they create these fake narratives of what is happening to them. Unlike people like Gina Carano, who actually has a place to stand and say, look, this is something that actually happened to me. I was actually kicked out and fired by Hollywood, by Disney, because of my opinions. Gina Carano actually has the ground to stand on when it comes to that. But then you see all these other women that are claiming that they were going through these victimizing periods and stuff in their lives where Hollywood was just so mean to them, but those women never actually took the time to actually stand up for Gina Carano, defend her, or anything like that. In fact, they all turned their backs on her. So I have a very hard time believing people like Jennifer Lopez when they say that things were just super duper hard for her in Hollywood. Yeah, okay, right. Try saying an opinion that goes against the narrative and see how that goes for you. With that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.